I have never played Dungeons and Dragons before. That feels like an important caveat to everything I'm about to say, because I have no real touchstone for the game that I already have played for 9 hours in the first day. Hi, scratch everything that I had written down and recorded. Originally, I streamed 9 hours of the game on the first day, and I am now 23 hours deep on the third day of release, well and truly addicted, and only holding back on starting Act 2 so that I can stream it the day after I record this video. I'm going to do my best to exclude any kind of major spoilers of any kind, but there will be some minor visual spoilers for fights in Act 1 on the screen at some points, and I've got a lot to say. I don't mean to jump the gun, but this damn well might be the best RPG I've ever played, and I have played a lot of RPGs, like at least 2 of them. If you clicked on this video because you are also a D&D virgin like me, do yourself a favor, stop watching here and go buy the game. It does a great job at tutorializing you at the rules of the world and giving visuals to help you without being overbearing. Sorry. And while D&D knowledge does seem to help a good bit, you aren't at a significant disadvantage being new. And if all else fails, save's coming up, baby. I had more fun in the first couple hours of this game than I have in any other AAA game in a hot minute, minus maybe Tears of the Kingdom. At one point, I was reloading saves just to see the other dialogue choices. You know a game is good when the fantastic combat is a low point only when compared to messing around with dialogue options. I robbed the same vendor like 20 times and lied to his face about it every time. We kind of stole all of his good stuff already. You've been robbed. Oh my. I'll assure you I've committed no crime.
You quickly clear things up. Obviously, you aren't the thief reported.
I've shoved people off cliffs. We're gonna go kill this guy. Why don't we just push him off instead? I caught a troll and a bugbear doing the do. There is an unbelievable level of quality in this game. With that out of the way though, if you are going to click away, do a favor for me and drop a comment with your favorite D&D moment you've had. I love hearing those stories. And also, subscribing does help too. I've been really chugging along trying to get this channel off the ground. Anyways... Now for me, Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't really on my radar, beyond knowing Neil Newbon plays Astarion, and small flex, I'm certain he has no clue who I am whatsoever, but Neil Newbon did raid me when I was playing Resident Evil 8, and he does follow me on Twitch, so obviously you're missing out too. I mean, Neil already follows me, why aren't you? Twitch.tv/notabsolutelySure. Now, it wasn't on my radar until at a preview for the game, the developers showed Astarion having sex with a bear druid, and Baldur's Gate 3 jumped 70 spots higher on the top selling list on Steam that day. I'll be damned if that doesn't say everything you need to know about this game and its community. That is to say, they're horny as fuck, and I'm one of them. So my journey in Baldur's Gate 3, for lack of a better phrase, is essentially baby's first D&D experience. Thanks for the free ring.
Hey, hold on, you gotta pay for that.
You're getting paid an experience. The ring is mine now. I mean, I know Astarion's gonna fucking love this, so I'm gonna do it.
Fine. Keep
Yep.
it. Call it a sample, yeah? But you gotta at least look at the other rings, okay?
We're stealing from a kid. That's so funny. Oh god. I decided to be a bard called John Bard, whose only goal is to fuck his way through every problem that presents itself. I think Bard was a great choice for me personally because I like taking the stupid dialogue options and getting out without a scratch. The dumber the idea is, the more I like it, and thankfully the game seems to not penalize you for this as long as you hit the skill checks, which is just fantastic. Also, small note that I don't know where else to put. I recently learned that evenly numbered skills give bonus to skill checks, so 10 and 11 are +1, you don't get +2 until 12 and 13. Very good to know, and I was able to respec my characters to build them out even stronger, so now I have even higher charisma, and my bullshit is even more immaculate. Now, I cannot even begin to imagine how difficult it was playtesting all the different options in dialogue alone forgetting for a moment that there's the entirety of D&D 5th edition combat to translate to a video game format. The craziest part though is that they nailed it, all of it. There's a mind-boggling amount of customization options, dialogue choices, combat encounters. You can approach 10,000 different ways, and through it all, the game is running practically flawlessly, with only the most minor of graphical bugs here and there. And honestly, for the scope of this game, with how much they've managed to pack into this, who fucking cares if the hair looks a little weird now and then? I mean, for fuck's sake, they got great voice acting for every single character in the game. I think we can cut them a little slack. Reading is for losers, and they saved us from that. It's also worth mentioning that they have already put out a 200 megabyte patch fixing a laundry list of bugs, so they're on the ball with this. Everything that I've done so far in the game has felt earned. I can't even imagine what the storyboards look like, but damn if it doesn't feel like I'm actually moving through a grand story. But they made it so I can do it at my own pace, and that's where I think this game succeeds so much. It's got this grand narrative tale to it, but Larian Studios wants you to approach it on your terms. I could go inside the goblin camp and do my mission, or I could waltz in the front door and methodically massacre every goblin in there. Except this dickhead. He pushed John Bard into a pit. That... Uh-oh, John Bard got pushed in the pit. It's your game though, and the choices are entirely yours. Larian Studios put in loads of work to ensure that whatever it might be that you want to do, you can. Definitely feels nice to support a company with such a fantastic track record too. These guys just refuse to take an L. It's amazing to watch. AAA teams have been leaking comments and bitching about how Larian is ruining expectations and how Baldur's Gate 3 shouldn't be the standard. Giga Chad Larian responded by announcing that they wouldn't have any microtransactions and that they shipped the game with all of its content and are charging a fair price for it. It really is sad that shipping a game complete is like a miracle now, that they're not going to sell you the second half of it $20 at a time through DLC, but it takes some massive balls to flip the bird to the entire AAA game dev scene. Matt Mercer was stacking 500 boxes to shoot a teleporting arrow to get into a castle on Twitter with one of the devs in a call, and instead of complaining that he broke the game, the dev was impressed. He was like, hey, that's really smart. Much like it is the case with Final Fantasy XIV, I think a big chunk of the success of this game is stemming from the fact that the people that make the game play the game. Sounds like a weird thing, but it makes such a difference when they also play their own game, like genuinely play it, not just play test it. And so they approach it from the player's perspective as well as the creator's perspective. I have no complaints. This game took me completely by surprise. It offers a fantastic introduction to Dungeons & Dragons mechanics, and sidebar, the D&D movie was also great. Dungeons & Dragons fans are eating so good lately. There is no part of the game that escapes being funny, too. The dialogue options are great, and you can tell the writers had some fun with it. The voice actors did too, apparently, because the wonderfully talented Amelia Tyler that voices the narrator posted some of the outtakes on YouTube, and it's just... It's so fucking funny.
I'm a bard. I can fuck my way through any problem. I seduce the door. We live in horny jail. You can't send us there. Somebody studied Shakespeare and now it's everybody's problem. Everything's fine.
Larian Studios does actually give a shit about their community. There is no angle you can approach how this game was made and find anything but love and passion to make something fun. I think the fact that they did so many interviews and were so transparent with the development process shows way more confidence in their product than I've seen in a long time from any studio. And say it with me now, when the devs give a shit, the players give a shit. As of recording today, Baldur's Gate 3 cracked the top 10 of most concurrent Steam players all time. And honestly, I'm just so happy seeing this kind of success for them. But yeah, that's my in-progress review of Baldur's Gate 3 so far. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with the community for it. And John Bard is going to do his best to bed down all of his enemies in the future. He's also going to try and bed bed down Karlach. God, I love muscle mommies. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and all that, and check out my other videos. They're good, I promise. I just kind of suck ass at marketing my videos, and that's like half of YouTube. So every one of you that does interact with my content, it really does help. For now, though, thanks for watching.